come up short. Hey folks, it's John. Hey, today we're going to show you how to repair a fence. Now, this fence was damaged, and I cut off the damaged part, and I come up short, so the fence is not going to reach to the post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some gripples, and I'm going to splice it into the fence and extend this fence so I can reuse the same piece. Now, it's a short fence, and with the gripple tool, you'll see how tight we can get this fence just using the gripple tool. It's a pretty good system. So stay tuned. Let's get started. So that's about how short we come up. I guess we need about a foot, maybe a foot and a half. So we're going to cut some pieces of wire, splice it around this pole, connect it to this, and then we're going to use the gripple tool and tighten this piece of fence up. Got it? All right, so here's our spool of wire. Let's cut us a piece off. So here's the easy way. This is our extension wire, and we're going to wrap this around this pole. So now these little T-clips, they grab onto the wire and you don't have to wind. Now, we could wind these up, but this just makes things go faster. So you twist it on the wire. See how it twists on there? And we're just going to slide this through the back. And it'll grab. Isn't that genius? So now that we got our little pigtail on, this is a large gripple. And we have to use this because these top wires, I think, are 10 gauge. And these larges do that range. And there's a medium we'll use for the rest of them. So we'll slide that dog on there. Slide it on there, and there's a little wheel inside here. Once you slide the wire in, it can't come out. And we're going to take our top wire, slide it through there. And see, now we got a connection. We're going to go all the way down with that, and you want to leave these pigtails on for now, and you'll see why later. So let's grab a handful of wires and gripples and get this thing going. Well, we got that first one on. That's to secure our fencing, and we didn't tighten it yet, but we'll get 2 or 3 of these on, and then we'll give it a little tighten, and that way it'll hold it in place a little better. So we'll get it around. Twist that T-clip on and slide it in the back. Now once you slide it in, it's going to grab. So you can either tighten it up later, or you can leave a little tail on there, and you can bend that tail down and it'll give you a little extra security. And on these, we can use our medium gripple. So you just slide it on there. Okay, so this is our gripple tool. Now, when you open these jaws, it's going to open up the part that grasps the wire, but we're going to set it up. This will go in your gripple, Fits in that slot. See how it opens that jaw up? Put it in there. And soon as you close these clamps, look at that. It's going to pull it through. Just let it go. It'll open those jaws again. And give it another pull. So that's as much as we're going to tighten it for now until we get everything on there. And then we'll give it a final tightening. Good system. This is just some 12 gauge wire, you know, I got down there at Tractor Supply or something. But it does the job. And you notice on all the wires, I tried to go around the pole the same way. If you go around the other pole the other way, then where the wire meets the T-clip, it'll pull it towards the inside of the pole, and we don't want that. So just kind of line it up. And then it's gripple time. Now, I could have just cut a new piece of wire, but then I might waste this piece, which is a good, probably 30 feet long. And also, when you're using this method, you don't have to strip these wires. That's the worst part of fencing, is having to cut and strip these little cross wires. So this, I'm done. I'm done. If you were to have to strip that wire and have to tie that wire around, it would take you 30 darn minutes. So this way, what'd that take me? About 2? It's going to be a short video. Do it again. So now I made a mistake and I have the wire on the inside. So now Gripple sends you a little fix-it tool right here, and there's a hole on the back of here. So if you make a mistake, you can push that in there and it should release that wire. See how that wire comes out? I guess it pushes that little wheel in there and you can release your wire. So let's try this again, and we'll give it a bend to the outside because we won't be able to grab these little pigtails if that's on the inside. Okay. That's a lot better. So we got our Gripple tightening tool. Let's just give this thing a little crank. Woo. Come on out of there. See how this one's a little, pigtail's a little short. It's still gonna grab. There we go. That one could use a little more. Okay, got them all tightened. What we'll do is we'll snip off these tips. You don't want anybody poking themselves in the eye. So you can see that fence is pretty tight. We'll put a couple staples in there, and that's good fence. That's a done project. So these little tails, we're going to snip them off and wind them around because we want a little bit left. So later on, if we have to come back and tighten this fence more with that Gripple tool, you can see we still got a couple inches we can tighten this fence. So we'll just snip them and wind them. So you can see the finished product has a nice, nice clean look, an industrial look, but nevertheless a nice clean look. And that took me all of about 20 minutes. And that's including, you know, having to record, start and stop these cameras. So if that would have just been me working alone with no cameras, 10 minutes, I'd have had that whole side done. So now if you wanted to save yourself a couple of bucks, yesterday, this is how I anchored it. You can just twist the wire onto your pole and then use a Gripple. So it doesn't look as clean as the other way, and certainly it's not as fast. And if you do a lot of fencing, you do not like to twist wire. It's time consuming and kind of a pain in the rear. So it's good for anchoring your posts, but it's a cleaner look and a lot easier to work with if you use those T-clips. I missed. Okay, we got our fence put up. It was a short fence and we made it work, and that's important because this stuff's not free. And look how tight this is. Look how nice and tight that fence came out. I appreciate you guys joining me here on Hoof and Homestead. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button if you like. I'd like it. We wish you a great new year. God bless you.